You are now listening to Indie Showcase, where we do content the indie way.
Hello and welcome to Talking About Walkers. I am one of your hosts, Kente, and I'm joined by my main man all the way from the scene of the crime, Atlanta, Yardley. How you doing, Yardley?
Hey, man, I'm doing great, man. Coming off of a live weekend doing shows. Enjoyed that last Walking Dead episode, man, and looking forward to chopping it up with James and Eric from the Walker Stalkers.
Yeah, me too. And we're also joined by Olaf Barbosa from Indiana. How you doing, Olaf?
I'm doing good, and that's and really enjoyed the show. The last episode of Walking Dead, that was good, and just can't wait to get into the show tonight.
All right, and also from the Walking Dead collection, we have Adrian. How you doing, Adrian?
I'm doing great, man. Just waiting for the next episode of the Walk. If I can see my Rosita.
Yeah, Rosita. Yeah, we all have a crush on Rosita.
Rosita, yeah.
Oh, that's my baby.
All right, so we're joined by James and Eric from the Walker Stalkers, and you guys know them from the Walker Stalker Convention. This is part one of two parts that we're going to do, talking about the convention. And welcome to the show, James and Eric.
Man, thank you for having us. We appreciate it.
It's great to be here with you guys, and we feel the same way about Rosita.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
I'm surprised you had us back, though, after last time. I mean, Eric was pretty raunchy.
Oh, you haven't heard some of our shows. Now, before we go on about the past Walker Stalker Convention, there is a little rumor that I want you guys to dispel. I've heard this over and over. You guys are not blood related. You guys are not brothers, right?
We are not.
No, we are not. We are brothers of other mothers, but we are not blood related.
I've had arguments with people. No, they're related.
We pinky swear in blood, whatever the quote is. But no, we don't do that.
You know what though? I'm staring at a picture of you guys side by side, and you know how they say when you're in someone's life for a while, they start to look alike. You guys are starting to. You guys have a little,
You're getting there, yeah.
Yeah.
I think if you dropped a brick on Eric. And I mean, I could see how we'd look.
It happens.
We're very Caucasian. We could be related. Who knows?
We could. And I tell you what, best thing is our kids reminded us and our wives that we have no fashion sense. So last Walker Stalker Con, they told us you've got to go get some new clothes before you go to Walker Stalker.
We did go shopping together.
So we went shopping together, and we're at Old Navy, and we're trying things on together, and one's in, and these girls, they swore we were this 30, 40-year-old gay couple. I mean,
we both picked similar outfits. I said, I can't wear the same shoes as you. I really liked his shoes better than mine, but
Eric had red plaid, I had green plaid. We looked like a Christmas tree.
We did. It was terrible.
So let's talk about Walker Stalker #1 in November. What was that experience like? Because when we had you on before, you guys were gearing up for it. So how did it go, in your estimation?
It was very humbling, to be very honest. We worked really hard to put that together, and we really felt like if we never did another one, it would have been everything that we had hoped it would be, and it was. There was a moment when we had this cast photo, and there was 17 cast members, sitting down to take a photo together, and it was just unreal.
I think we all sort of realized what was happening and what happened. So
in that moment, we felt like, all right, we actually pulled it off. And it's been real. To be honest, I think we feel like we've been given a responsibility to put on a good fan meetup for lovers of The Walking Dead, and we take that very serious. But Atlanta was an amazing experience.
Oh, that's cool. Well, guys, of all the things that went into the organization of the Walker Stalker Con, what part of the process proved most difficult for you guys personally?
I mean, most definitely the hardest part of the con was Saturday morning when we had both Norman Reedus and Andrew Lincoln. Andrew Lincoln kind of came in about a month before. He confirmed about a month before the con started. And we knew we didn't have enough space really to accommodate him properly. We did make the best of it, and we did a fantastic job. All of our volunteers, all of the staff at the Westin and the convention center did a great job to facilitate it. But the challenging part was just the morning of that, trying to make sure that everything, all the line control, everything was in order. We learned a lot from that experience, and it was it was difficult. It was challenging dealing with people that were a little bit having to be a little bit more frustrated that it wasn't going as quickly. But we quickly resolved it, and by around 11:30 or noon, it really went smoothly from that point on. So that was the hardest part. We learned a ton from that experience. Would you say that was the same for you, James?
Yeah, I think that experience and just realizing you're not going to be able to please everybody. When you have 10,500 people there are a lot of people that they feel like they've spent a lot of money, so they're entitled to a certain level of experience or the right to do certain things, and maybe they aren't, and maybe they are. But we really realized we're not going to please everybody. So if we can please 95% of the people, it's really rewarding. Even when that, I wouldn't even say it's 5%, but the handful of people that just, if we don't get it the way we want it, your convention sucks. I mean, that's a difficult thing to hear. Yeah. Because you want to make everybody happy. But, other than those things, it was a really awesome and rewarding experience.
Oh, that's so awesome. I was listening to you guys' podcast. Was there actually someone complaining that you actually had people there that weren't from The Walking Dead?
Yes.
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah. I mean, go figure. We're fans of television and entertainment as well. So, and I think everybody fits in. The con is a zombie horror and sci-fi convention. It's not a Walking Dead convention exclusively. So that's what people had to, I think people, kind of have their eye on one show, but we really wanted to round it out. So I think we did that.
It's not like you had like somebody from Scandal or My Little Pony or something like that.
Right.
I mean,
right. We're bringing in the cast of Grey's Anatomy to the next
right.
one.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, that's just crazy. You know what though? Like you were saying about you can't please everyone. I think the only events where everyone's pleased must take place at like the Playboy Mansion, I guess. That's the only events I know that everyone's pleased when they come out of that. But so I wouldn't put too much stock into that. But I like the fact that you guys really care and you want to make the experience really nice. How were the cast members as far as working with them in making this event come off? How did they act and whatnot?
They were unbelievable. Every single cast member that we dealt with was, I mean, I wish I could have a story for you about some angry cast member, but there was no one. They were all so happy to be there, very accommodating. Everybody from the managers to the handlers that were working with them, plus the actors. Everybody was just so grateful and really complimentary of their experience compared to maybe other conventions that they've been to, So we were just really happy to hear that. And they gave us, on top of that, they gave us some good tips to even make it better, since we were first-time convention promoters. I mean, they were fantastic. They were willing to help. And that's a good sign. If somebody actually wants to help you, they know you have a good thing going and they want to be part of it in the future.
Yeah. The celebrities, all of them, were just really gracious, not only with their time, but just with their own praise for us being able to pull it off. I got to be honest with you. I think they were equally as impressed as everybody that we actually put this thing together and it was as big and successful as it was. None of them had done anything like this. I think before that, maybe 5 or 6 Walking Dead actors had shown up at a con in Cincinnati. And before that, it really, there was never anything quite like it.
Other than Norman and some of the other main actors.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That in Cincinnati, 6 of them. But, to them, some of them actually mentioned or stated that they saw the Atlanta as a reunion. And they had hoped that we would continue to do this, so it gave them something to come back to and come together with. Because not only, the main cast, they were filming at the time in Atlanta, but what it did is it brought in 20 other cast members who hadn't been on the show in a season or 2 seasons, and they got to see them again and hang out with them again. So they thought that was cool as well, not only the fan interaction, but then also getting to see some of their friends again.
So Walking Dead family.
And you guys are at the center of that, which is awesome to be fans of a show. I mean, I can think of all the shows that I loved, like Lost and X-Files and all that stuff, to be the center of the universe as a fan, from doing their podcast and then putting on this convention. It must be like a really cool thing.
Well, we've never looked at it like that. We don't look at it. Honestly, it felt surreal. I felt like I was like everybody else, a fan. And there was some times where, because without volunteers and without all like the hundreds of people that made this possible, I felt like I couldn't really enjoy the moment that I was in very often because it was always something to do and always something. It wasn't until like a couple of days later when it all kind of sunk in and we came down from that high and we started gaining weight again because we lost 10 pounds. All the stress and worry how this would come off. I think we finally got to enjoy it a little bit,
Yeah. There are 20 other people that's put hours upon hours a day right now into these conventions. So it's not just us. And I don't even think we're the best podcast. I think Jason and Karen, that they've kind of set the standard for Walking Dead podcasts. I think there are some huge fans out there. Eric and I are first to admit that we don't have all the knowledge.
We are goofballs sometimes.
We're idiots. But there are people out there that I think carry the torch much more than we do when it comes to this stuff. I think what we like to do, and maybe this is where we fit in, is that we just like to unite everybody, and we like to share the experiences that we get to have with everybody else, and be that Walking Dead or be it in Chicago Arrow or Lost. We just want people to have a good time and to walk away going, man, I got to meet that person and spend a few minutes with them. I think that's really what we're about more than anything. It's just having a good time and the experiences and the fun.
Right.
Now, I remember when we did the show last year, you guys were saying that you were thinking about doing a song for the first Walker Stalker Con. Did you guys ever make the song for it?
We did not.
Well, I did a song. I did a little ditty using the Shaka Khan theme song. And what's that song called? I'm Here for You or something. Anyway, it's kind of
you did the intro. That was a lot.
Khan.
No, we were going to.
That's the only thing we did.
We were talking about doing JT and Jay-Z, Holy Grail.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Who's Jay-Z and who's JT?
Eric's Jay-Z.
I'm Jay-Z.
And I'm JT.
Most definitely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Should we take from that Eric has a little more soul than James?
I definitely I have it in my history. I have relatives, family members. So
and I
definitely got more soul.
And I grew up in the boy band era, so it just would flow naturally that I was on the JT side. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you guys didn't settle that by rock, paper, and scissors. It's actually history behind it. So that's really
definitely
cool. That's really cool. So okay, so we're going to have Eric on for part 2, and we're going to talk about what's going to happen going forward. But before we do that, I just want you to get out there. If someone has any questions, or they want to follow you on Facebook or Twitter, can you please give us that information?
Totally. We are on Twitter at Walker_Stalkers. And then also the convention is Walker Stalker Con, but that's taking out the E's.
And then on Facebook, it's really simple. Walker Stalker Con. Search for it on Facebook. And then the Walker Stalkers on Facebook. So those are the best ways to connect with us. And of course, go to walkerstalkercon.com/Chicago if you want to come to Chicago in a few days. Or Atlanta in October 17th through the 19th.
Atlanta is going to be huge. We literally have 3 times the floor space we did this last year.
We better fill it. We got to fill it. But we think we will.
Yes.
Yeah, it's going to be cool.
Well, your Atlanta last year was fantastic. For your guys' first time doing a show, I had been to a couple other conventions prior to coming to yours. And from a convention goer, yours was smooth. I mean, it seemed to work. It worked really well. And there was you could find everything, and I didn't hear much complaints out of anybody. And one of the ones I was at earlier last year, all I heard was complaints, and this comes from somebody who'd been doing these conventions for like 10, 15 years, or about 10 years. They had 10 years experience doing it, and you guys did 1,000 times better than they did.
Thanks, man. It was the fear of God.
Yeah, I mean, that and the fact that everything we did at every moment, we were like, if we were a fan, how would we want it done?
Right.
And that was the approach we always took.
It means a lot coming from you, Olaf. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. It was.
See you at the next one.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you'll see me Chicago and Atlanta. You're stuck with me now. I've started coming. I'm gonna be coming there all the time.
Probably on the press list, right?
I just want to know.
Yes.
You got to teach me your bass moves. How you get that bass voice?
Yeah, when you were counting down the show at the beginning, you're like 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I thought we were gonna do that. What was that? What's that song for like nights? Like ooh, da 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 doo doo doo.
Now who's got the soul?
Oh man,
90s soul.
90s soul. That's right.
There you go.
All right, so we will be doing part 2 in about 30 minutes. Thank you so much.
Yardley, Olaf, Adrian, Kenta, thank you guys. We appreciate it.
Hey, thank you guys.
Thank you.
You have been listening to Indie Showcase. Be sure to go over to indieshowcase.org. INDYshowcase.org. Thank you.